Okay, so here's our next video on rationalising the denominator with some more complex examples. So to start off with, we've got rationalise and simplify the denominator of 2 over 3 root 5. Now, one thing that people get really tempted by is to multiply by everything that is underneath. That is unnecessary. You're actually giving yourself more work. You only need to multiply by the surd. So I've now got 2 root 5 over, and remember when I've got two things next to each other like so, and there's no sign, that means there's always a multiply going on. So that's going to be 3 times, and then square root of 5 times the square root of 5 is just going to be 5. So I've got 2 root 5 over 15, doing that 3 times 2 that's on the bottom. Next one, I've got 5 over 2 root 3, so multiply the top and the bottom by root 3. So that's going to be 5 root 3 over 2 times, again, root 3 times by root 3 is just going to be 3. So I've got 5 root 3 over 6. Last one on this page then. Again, multiplying by our surd. We now have 8 root 6 over 5 times 6. Now, I could do 5 times 6, but I can see here already, because I have an even number at the top and the bottom here, I know I can do some simplification. And it is good to do simplification early on, just because it means you have a little easier time if the numbers get massive. So I know I can divide the top and the bottom by 2. So I've now got 4 root 6. And make sure when you divide the bottom by 2, when it's split like this, you only do it to one number. So I'm only going to divide the 6 by 2. So now I've got 4 root 6 over 15. Okay, so next one then. So same question again. This time I have 8 over root 12. So I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by that root 12. Now some of you may have clocked that root 12 I used a lot in my simplifying videos, and it is a surd that simplifies. However, I recommend saving the simplification till the end. So we're just doing a little bit of basic fraction simplification. So dividing by 2 here, which is going to give me 4 root 12 over 6. And I've got my even numbers again to can divide by 2. Obviously, I could have divided by 4 at that first point. However, I just want to show it's totally fine to do these in little steps. Some people get so worried about doing it in one big step that they don't make it easy on themselves. Just if they're even, divide by 2 if you're ever unsure. So that root 12, from all the simplification, I know it is going to be 2 root 3. And again, if you don't see how we can get from this root 12 here to that 2 root 3, I recommend going back to one of the simplification videos. And that all goes over 3. And then I just do that 2 times 2, which is 4. So I've got 4 root 3 over 3. And so this one here, I've got 3 over 2 root 50. So I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by root 50. So I've now got 3 root 50 over 2 times 50. So that's going to be 3 root 50 over 100. And so once again, this root 50 here can actually simplify. So that is now going to become 3 times 2 root, not 2, what am I saying? 5 root 2 because 25 times 2 will give me that 50. And if I square it out 25, it gives me that 5. And that all goes over 100. And then I can do a bit of simplification here. I can see quite easily that our 5 and our 100, I can divide those both by 5. So I've now got 3 root 2 over 20. So I could have done the simplification on the root 50 earlier on. However, one issue with doing it early on is that you might end up having to simplify a surd twice. So I recommend just saving it until the end, do your rationalising, and then look to see if you can simplify the surd that is left behind. Okay, so our last page then. So this time I've got surds on the top and the bottom. When you rationalise, make sure you only multiply by the surd that is on the bottom. Do not be tempted at all to multiply by the one at the top. So I've now got root 2, root 5 over 5. Now remember, when I've got two surds next to each other like this, I can actually now combine them under the 1. So that's now just going to be root 10 over 5. So next one then, multiplying the top and the bottom by root 8. Now this is one where if you simplified by root 8 at the start, you would have had to do another simplification at the end. If you fancy challenging yourself, give that a shot. But I'm going to just do the easier one by saving it until the end. So I've now got root 10, root 8, all over 8, which is just going to be root 10 times 8 over 8. So I've got root 80 over 8. Now 16 times 5 gives me that 80. So that means when I simplify that, I now got 4 root 5 over 8. And I can divide the top and the bottom there by 4 to give me root 5. I was about to write 8 there. Root 5 over 2. So yeah, so if you're feeling confident in this, I suggest try doing that question again. But this time, simplify the root 8 at the start. Do the rationalising and then see how you might need to simplify it again at the end. And then our last example, so we've got root 6 over 6 root 3. Now remember, we multiplied by only the surd that's on the bottom. So I've now got root 6 root 3 over 6 times 3. So root 6 times root 3, well, that's just going to be root 18. So I'm just skipping a step there. I'm getting a bit more confident. I know I'm just multiplying the two numbers under the surds here together. And that's going to be over 18. Now, square root of 18, that can simplify because 9 times 2 gives me 18. So that's going to be 3 root 2 over 18. And I can divide top and the bottom by 3. Give me a final answer of root 2 over 6. So I hope that's clarified some of the more complicated versions of rationalising the denominator. So yeah.